finishing of the farmer's daughter cape. So let's say you're done knitting your cape and now we have to do all the finishing things. So we are going to crochet the ties. Take a crochet hook. Here I'm using a 6.5 millimeter, which is size K, but you can use any similar size. 5 millimeter will work, 6 millimeter. After you attach the yarn, you're just doing a chain stitch. If you've never done crocheting before, this is quite easy. So basically you just insert the hook and you wrap the yarn around it and you pull it through. When you're done crocheting about 15 inches or so, we're going to do a slip stitch. So basically all you're doing, you're just going back, you're inserting the crochet hook through every loop, and then you're doing a slip stitch. So let's see. Insert the hook, wrap the yarn around, and pull it through. Insert the hook into the next stitch, pick up the yarn, and pull it through. Insert the hook, pick up the yarn, and pull it through. So this is quite easy even if you've never crocheted before, and you just keep going all the way to the beginning of the tie. So you see here, this is what it looks like. And then when you get to the end, you want to do a couple more on the inside. And then you can weave in the ends when you're just doing the final cleanup, when you're weaving in all the ends. But you just want to make it a little bit more secure, so a couple more. And then you cut the yarn. You pull it through the last stitch. And then you can weave in the ends later. You can also use a felting needle too, or a large tapestry needle, whichever is your preferred way. Then you repeat for the second tie, and then the last step would be to make fringe and pom-poms. But you can do these in any order that you'd like. So here I already attached some fringe, just so you can see what it looks like. And this is what a single fringe looks like. There's a fast way to cut the fringe. So you want to take a piece of cardboard and you want it to be not the length of the actual fringe, but half of it. And you'll see why. So you see my piece of paper or piece of cardboard is half. It's not the length of the actual strand of fringe, it's half. And then you start wrapping the yarn around that paper or cardboard. So one full wrap is one fringe. And then when you have enough, you cut the yarn, and then you're going to cut all the strands, but only in one place. So do this, insert the scissors and cut. So this is a great way to cut lots of fringe all at once so that you don't have to measure out them one by one individually. That will take a very long time. So this is a quick way to do it. For this poncho, you're going to double the fringe. So you take 2 strands. You can use your fingers, or I prefer to use a crochet hook. It just makes everything go so much faster. You insert the hook along the edge of the poncho. You pick up the 2 strands of fringe. You pull it through and you make the fringe. And that's it. So what you can do, I think for this poncho you need about 250 fringes, and they're doubled, so it's 125 fringe that goes all the way around. So you can kind of put them all the way around, and then if you have some extra left over, you see where in the poncho there's maybe like a little spot where you need to put some extras, and this is what you do. And now we're going to make some pom-poms. So take a piece of cardboard and scissors and yarn. You can use same color yarn, or if you're doing an accent color in a different color pom-poms. In this case, our main color is polar bear and the pom-poms are in hot pink. So you take the yarn and you wrap it around that piece of cardboard. You slide it off, cut the yarn, and then you don't want the yarn to break, so we are going to double it. So you double some yarn, I would say maybe 20 inches or so, and then you wrap the yarn through the middle of those loops. So you wrap it around twice, and then you tie it and kind of go as tight as you can, and you can pull on it to adjust. So pull, adjust, tie a couple more knots. So if you didn't double the string, it might break, and I know because I've done it. And then we are ready to cut the loops. Bigger size scissors work better. This way you can cut a lot more loops at the same time. But if you don't have large scissors, basically any scissor will work. So you're just going around cutting all the loops. And then check to see if you missed any of them. So catch anything that you missed. And now we just are going to trim it. So we're going to give it a haircut to make it look nice and round. So shake it out. Check to see if you missed any loops. And start trimming it. And when you trim it, go on a curve. So don't go at a right angle, because you want your pom to be round. So kind of whenever you trim, go around. And that's it. This is the last step, is trimming it and making it look nice and even and round. When you're done making the pom-pom, the last step would be attaching it to the ties of the cape. There's different ways to do it. So one way would be to just pull the strings through the last stitch of the tie. And then we are going to tie it just with simple knot, and then make a few knots. You want it to be as secure as possible. I think 3 or 4 knots should do it. And then we are going to trim that yarn, but we're not going to cut it too close to the knot. This way it becomes part of your pom-pom. And that's it. And then you repeat for the second pom-pom and we're done. If you like this cape, you can get it as a digital pattern or a DIY kit from Loopy Mango. And if you like this video, please subscribe and like it. And we have a lot more video tutorials for you. And happy knitting!